Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are going to do a skinning tutorial again because the last one is outdated and I get questions to this day about it. So sorry for the lack of content all last year, but one thing I was doing was working on all these derby cars or BeamNG. So if you don't know, I have a Patreon where I make derby cars for BeamNG, and we have a lot of derby cars now, as you can see. There, you should find something you like, So, was working on all these derby cars for BeamNG. So, if you don't know, I have a Patreon where I make derby cars for BeamNG, and we have a lot of derby cars now, as you can see. There, you should find something you like, So, in today's tutorial, you'll be able to skin any of my cars, and have my Patreon and you're trying to skin a different car that's not mine. As long as you have the UV for that car, technically. Alright, so technically, if you have my Patreon and you're trying to skin a different car that's not mine, as long as you have the UV for that car, technically by the end of this video, you should be able to skin any car with a UV. As long as you have my Patreon, because you're going to need to have my mod activated in order for your skins for other cars to work because of the file setups and etc. A lot of stuff that I don't want to get into how the actual skins work down to the nitty gritty, because that was going to confuse a lot of you and you don't need to know how any of that works. But basically, I'm going to try to make it as simple as I can in this tutorial. So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to flash a few photos of some new cars I have made over the last year for BeamNG. It's for the people that haven't been keeping up. But yeah, so as you can see, this car right here, we got a lot of stuff going on here. There's lots of parts for them, all types of creases and trunks and bumpers and engine parts, and it goes on and on, all the kinds of stuff you can do to these cars. So I'm gonna flash up a few pictures just for people that, if you don't know about the mod I've been working on, I'll show you some pictures of it. That way you can decide if you want to get it on Patreon or not. So the link to the Patreon is in the description. So if you want these cars, you're gonna need that. So I appreciate all my supporters, every one of you. You all are amazing. So yeah, without rambling on, here's the photos, and enjoy the video. Alright, we're back. Now I will say, if you want to subscribe, I will be posting a lot more videos here on the derby cars and stuff like that. So anyways, get right into it. Today I'm going to show you how to skin my cars specifically, but if you pay attention, you should really know how to do it for any car with a UV map. Again, you're going to need, so what you'll need for this, that's what we'll get into. Alright, we'll start the video right now. Basically, the tutorial, the timestamp. What you'll need to make skins. This is a free thing. The links for this is in the description too. So this is called paint.net. You're going to need this. And you're going to need Notepad++, which would be like this link that's in the description. And it's going to be this green button. Make sure you don't click the ads. The ads might say download here or something. And then that's... So I'm not responsible if you guys like hit this, which do not hit these. These are ads. So basically you can hit an ad and it could bring you to like a bad website maybe to download something sketchy. Anyways, this is the download right here. This is the download right here. They're free. I think this one might ask you to buy it, but if you like just say no or whatever, then it won't ask again. Anyways, so that's what you need. That's what I'll be using in this video. There are other programs that do the same thing. So if you're advanced and you know which programs those are, then go ahead and use them. Again, I'm not responsible if you download anything you're not supposed to, like hit an ad. Yeah, and this is what I use, is all I'm saying. So yeah, these are the programs I use, and that's what we'll be using today in this tutorial. This channel right here. Alright. This is what we're looking for. I'm going to put it in here, and then I'm going to pin it. I don't think there's anything pinned right now, nope. So it's going to be the only one pinned. Alright, so once you're in my Discord, scroll down. It's right here, guys. It's going to be here, and it's going to be in the pins, alright? You'll find it. Because I'm not really sure how else to really link this file to you guys that I made. So file on my Discord, right? This thing, which, like I said, it might be named something different. Basically, take this file and copy it, paste it somewhere on your desktop. I have it pasted right here. All right, because you gotta get it outside of that zip file. So hopefully you understand how to do that at least. Take the folder out of your zip. All right, you got your folder out of your zip. You know, you're getting there now. Well, not really, but you're gonna have your UV maps now. How to get the roof sign UV without whatever. Right? I don't really know how to say it, but so we're gonna copy this, right? That's what you need to do. You need to copy a roof sign from one of the cards that already has it. So you'd go to rectangle, make sure you get it all. Control C copies it. All right. I'm gonna Control X just to get rid of it real quick. So act like this is a car that had no roof sign on it, a UV, which I try to get most of them updated with it, but for whatever reason, say you didn't have one. All you have to do is copy it from a car that has the roof sign, and then you come over to your other one without the roof sign, and you just paste it, and it's gonna. And now you have a UV for it, and then you just make your roof sign. That's all you do with that. All right. Cool. Now that's into that. Next. This is how you actually how you make a skin. All right. Now this is not a paint.net tutorial. If you want to see that, put a comment below and like the video, and I will get that done soon. And I'll give you guys all the tips and tricks I know personally. But today we are just going to do the nitty gritty, or I don't even know if you'd call it that, my bad. We're just doing the basics. So what you're going to want, what I usually do, so you've probably seen what I did here. Or not, I don't know. I hit this plus button, and that adds what's called a layer. And a layer is just what you need to do when you want to do something different, alright? So I don't really know how to explain it. Like I said, not a paint.net tutorial today. It's a skinning, how to get your skin in the game tutorial. You can figure out how to do paint.net by messing with it, just doing simple Google searches, YouTube searches. I don't need to make, that's not what this video is for, but if I need to make a video like that, we can. So yeah, you can kind of just follow along. Like I hit the paint bucket there and picked a color, and then I added another layer now, and then I'm going to hit this check mark, and that's going to get rid of my base color so I can still see what I'm going to be doing here, because I want to have two colors just to make it a little cool. So actually what I'm going to do is paint bucket this one again, and we're going to do a gray here. Cool. And then, but actually what we're going to do with this one is hit the move button, and then we're going to hold shift when we rotate it, bam. And now we're trying to do, like, you might see what I'm going with here, trying to do like a two color scheme here. Cool. Now I can always stretch it out if I needed to, and that should be pretty even with the full car. Or wait, no, just kidding. No, if I put it there, I think it will be, or nope. Yeah, actually that wouldn't work. Stretching it like that, so you can kind of mess around with that, but basically I'm just gonna line it up, and you can always overflow, right? So that's what we're actually gonna do, overflow on the lines. You'd rather overflow than have lines showing. Okay, so this is actually all fantastic, looks good to me. You can bring that back and kind of see the color scheme you got now. What I'm going to do here though, I have to get another color, white, and then you can download fonts. The font works, dafont.com. There's lots of websites, you can figure it out, just look up font downloads. And like I said, it's not a paint.net tutorial, so I'm just gonna keep going here. I'm gonna pick a font I have downloaded. I don't have many. I always try to keep it pretty basic because I don't make any complex skins really, because I just try to put my time into making the cars themselves and the parts and stuff. So we're gonna have to make that a lot bigger. That's probably a little too big, but yeah, I actually like that font. So I'm actually gonna select that and just make it smaller that way. Again, this is the how to make, so if you already know how to do all this, please skip ahead. It will be, or I wouldn't say please skip ahead. You might learn something, but probably not, because it's keeping it very basic. So basically I'm just copy and pasting these numbers around because I already made them, and now I just need to resize them to fit where I need them to go. Like, look, I'm just stretching it. Look, it's perfect roof sign now. Cool. And yeah, you can keep going, adding stickers, etc., etc. Say I wanted to add stickers on the trunk, I'll just hide that, and then I could see where the trunk is. So just to give you guys an example, we're just gonna do a more text and say hi or something, which is obviously way too big, but now you can see again how I would resize that. If I don't want to use the actual font resize, I would just do this and just, yeah. And I could have done something better too, like I guess, since we're already doing it, right? I am gonna make it smaller, which now you see why I don't make it smaller, because I always underestimate these font sizes here. Excuse me, sorry if I hit that mic too. And you can also adjust like this. Right? See, like, I had to adjust the size anyway, so it is what it is. Rectangle, move selected pixels, hold shift when you rotate, hold shift when you scale too. Cool, so we're holding shift a lot here. Just keep that in mind. If you're moving something or doing something, try to hold shift when you do it. It might change how something works. Unhide, unhide. You have your skin. Literally, the skin is done. So now you make sure the top one is selected. Just keep hitting that button until you got one. Alright, there's how you make a skin. Alright, now that you have your skin and it's in one layer, for the code I have here, we're going to save it as DDS. So you do file, save as. When I say DDS, it's save as type. When I do DDS, it's save as type direct draw surface, DDS. This is what you want to save it as. And then, alright, so when you download that code I gave to you guys, it's going to be in replace me name. Names in the file are going to say replace me. I think it's obvious, but you're going to want to replace those names. So you're going to make a name. So I'm just going to 55, we're just going to do video. 55 video, right? So now that I have this name, and I did put it in all caps, so you can do caps and lowers. I think what name you pick, you're going to copy and paste it for the other one, so it's spelled exactly the same for everything to avoid stuff breaking. Alright, so this is, I've seen people have a lot of issues with this. Once you pick your name for the replace me stuff, you keep that name and you copy it. Don't even type it in, even if it's something as simple as this, even though this is, you kind of mess up 55 video, but you know what I'm saying. Just copy them, man. Just copy them. Alright, look, I got 55 video now. Cool. Alright, so now, alright, you'll have your folders too, right? So that's how you save it. This is the stuff you downloaded. This right here, I'm just going to keep it as A1 Accord. for the thing you guys download to make it simple so you know what is what, alright? So you will see this file named A1 Accord. Depending on what car you are going to do, you're going to have to change the name of this with the right-click rename feature. That's all you have to do to rename it. But for now, that's not what we're doing. I'm just letting you guys know that. The replace me is what we're doing real quick. So if you remember, we copied that 55 video, we copied it, so we're pasting it. And then the skins, you keep that folder as it is, and this is where you'll have everything. So this was the UV in here. Yeah, so that's another thing with this UV. I know it says replace me, but you guys actually have to go get the UV from the Discord or from the mod itself, and then you make it in paint.net like this, and then you'll just delete this, alright? After you got your skin with your name, you don't need this anymore. So you delete it. I'm gonna keep it in here because it actually doesn't matter if it's in here or not, if you do everything correctly. But for your sake, once you get your skin in your video, just delete it. I'd also recommend having, if you're gonna make lots of skins, have a place on your computer where you keep all the UVs. And then you don't have to keep going back to the Discord channel to re-download them. You'll just have them on your PC somewhere, okay? So, alright. Now, as you can see, some stuff I was working on. Anyways. Replace me. It's pretty simple. Alright? You guys get the deal here. We're pasting 55 videos still, because I haven't copied anything yet, so we're still pasting that. And same with the name. Now, because if you're watching this video, you've probably never done this, so we're keeping everything super simple. The name is what's going to show up in game. So what we're doing is keeping it. All three of these should be the same. But if you kind of know what you're doing, this name, quote unquote name, can be whatever you want it to show up in the game as. So it could be something completely different, to be honest. But for the sake of the video, that's what that does. Authors is pretty self-explanatory. I just keep it like that. I mean, I just took this stuff from the game BeamNG, so, and just renamed stuff and got it working. And that's, the authors doesn't really, you can put your name in there is basically what I'm trying to say. Value is what the skin would be worth. Okay, so if it cost you a spray paint can, you know, 20 bucks or whatever. If it's decals and stuff, it could go up higher. This is just what it's at when you download it, and that's what we're keeping it at, because these three things do not matter. And I know I kind of got into those when I really didn't need to, but now you guys know these three things don't matter. Just do whatever you want with them. But for the sake of the video, and especially if you've never got a skin working before, just make sure they're all three the same, please. Make it easier on yourself. Just make them all three the same. All right, we got that. And Control S saves it. Make sure you save it. That's what I did. Control S. So yeah, I saved it. Now we just have to rename this. Sorry if I bumped my mic. I didn't mean to do that. Alright, so you guys, if you're hung with me this far, your skin's almost done in game. So it's really pretty simple. I just got a few more tips and things to go over. So, and we still have to do these replace me's over here. So, alright, so now we still got these replace me's. Basically, nothing's changed. You're gonna just keep changing the replace me's and replacing them with the name you replaced everything else with. And after that, Control S saves it, and File Save also saves it. Alright, so once you get that done, you should have all your replace me's replaced, including this folder right here. If this folder says replace me, make sure you replace it. And then, alright, so now we're going to get into how, see how it says A1 Accord? Say you wanted to make it for the Riviera. How would you change that? So we're going to get into now. Basically, you would get the most current mod. So like right now it's V50, and then you go into vehicles, and then whatever name you see here is the name you're going to need to know. So for example, like the W bodies we have 3 different W bodies, but as you can see, they're all under A1 Lumina. So your code for the W bodies would be A1 Lumina, okay? And for the Fleetwood, you have the DeVille and the Limo and the normal Fleetwood. It would still just be A1 Fleetwood for all of them. So you guys kind of get the idea. If you can find, for example, say if A1 Accord wasn't as obvious as being an Accord, but you could just open it, look at one of these pictures, and you'll see what car it is. So, but yeah, so that's how you get the name of your cars. Make sure you know how it's spelled exactly. So if you're going to do A1 IROC, you guys get the idea, right? So these are the names you're going to need, and you are going to need those names for right here. So you would put, we're doing A1 Accord on this example, but if you're doing something else, you would replace it right here. For example, A1 Fleetwood. And then the other place you would change that is in your materials, right here. And like I said, when you double click it, it will highlight every place you need to change. So there's going to be 4 places in your materials. So that's all you have to do, guys. So like earlier, like a second ago, I said A1 Fleetwood for the example, right here. A1 Fleetwood, A1 Fleetwood, A1 Fleetwood. 4 times, you guys get the idea. And make sure you save it, and then you'd literally be done. So that's how you change it for the different cars. The skin code test you download in my Discord is not going to have all the different cars. That's just going to say A1 Accord. So make sure you get the right UV you want for the car, and make sure you open the mod so you know what the name is. But as of now, for all these cars, this is the name, so you don't have to even look. You can just use this video for now. These are all your names for all the different stuff. So that's how you do that. And when you are done with that, you would right click, send to, compress, and as you can see, I already made one up here, so but you would just name it whatever you want. And then like I have it right here already. So what you would do is take this, copy it, and then paste it into your mods folder. If you don't know where your mods folder is, it should be in your documents under BeamNG. BeamNG mods, and just put it in there, right? Yeah, you should know where your mods folder is if you're trying to make a skin. So yeah, just paste this into your mods, and that's about it. I'll show it to you in game now. Alright, we're here in game. As you can see, it worked first try for me, so if you followed all those steps, it should work for you. Just make sure you rename all the replace me's to the same name, and for whatever UV you're using, so if I'm using the Riviera UV, on one of those other names that said A1 Accord, they need to say A1 Riviera. Alright, so this is how you put the skin on, obviously. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe. If you want these cars, description below, we'll have the link to my Patreon. That's where you can get these cars right now, or on my Patreon. So you have a pretty good amount. Like, we even got lawnmowers, trailers, town car, Camrys, 2-door and 4-door Camry, Camry wagon, the Luminas, W body. You got the square body Lumina, you got the bubble Lumina, and the Regal. So there's lots of options with this mod currently. All the compacts have a lot of them are a lot better than the full size right now, but the full size are still strong. So alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned how to make a skin. See you in the next one.